All right, folks, welcome to our Thursday night broadcast of the iNRS Racing Series. Here we are, round two, race two, here at Kansas for the Hollywood Casino 200. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Rick Souza here in the booth with Sal Nicosia. Oh my gosh, I was just talking about that. Sal, this is going to be just one heck of a race. All right, qualifying is underway here. Thanks for tuning in. We've got 20 drivers here competing tonight. Again, we have had one race already here in New Hampshire. This is the meat race in this round two playoff here at Kansas because for a lot of drivers, next week at the Roval is going to be a crapshoot. All right. Right now, if you're familiar with the iRacing process here, everybody's actually qualifying at the same time. Right now, we're just highlighting. We got Jacob Musso on track. He's getting in his laps. We'll try to bring up some of the best times at this point. We've got, there we go. Right now, Tyler Lem is on top with a 30.06. Well, that just as I said that. Other laps are coming in, and we're seeing that first lap time. This is Kansas, so like other mile and a halves, lap two is the fast lap. All right, watching John DeRudris head out. If you are looking at the tower, you're saying, hey, some drivers are in red, some are in blue. Well, those that are playoff drivers here in the round of 12 are in red. Those drivers who are in blue are those drivers who are still in the league but just are not playoff contenders. Why don't we let's take a look at those points, Sal, while we're watching qualifying go on here. All right, so Austin Wheeler chalked his win up last week in New Hampshire, so he's punched his ticket into the round of 8. But everybody else is still there now. Jordan Wenzel is kind of okay. Jacob Musso not in bad shape. Tyler Lem gets to be a little bit sketchy here as these points as you get closer, and you can see those guys on the bubble. They are all, really from Corey Ennis on down. I think everybody could go. It could go any way. Absolutely. Well, there's just about 20 seconds or so left with qualifying, and then we'll move on to a driver's meeting. They've got about 5 minutes or so to kind of figure things out. Well, and I haven't checked, Sal. I'm not sure if for the real race at the Roval, that configuration has changed. I don't know if that's the case here on iRacing. I believe it is, but I'm not sure. Yeah, right. Well, let's cover what the race is all about tonight, so we can talk through that. All right, temperature's a little bit smoking. It's 97 degrees track temp. Yeah, this should be a fun race here. The other thing to consider here, if you're not familiar with the track itself, this is a relatively wide track. This track was built not only just for NASCAR, but they've held IndyCar and other series on this track. So it's super wide, and the drivers can take advantage of the apron, especially on the front stretch. Well, I'm getting a little feedback that maybe your mic is not being picked up, but I don't understand how that's possible. Um, I don't get it. I don't get it. Yep, I can hear you. I can hear you, but for some reason it's not getting out. Um, we'll see. Yep, other people are saying they can only hear me, so I don't get that. That makes no sense. I have no idea how to fix that. No, it's coming out. I don't know why. Hang on, looking. Yeah, I I can hear you fine. I don't Well, they're only hearing me, Sal. That's not good because they do not want to hear me all race. Bear with us, folks. We'll try to get this resolved. This is the first we've ever had this kind of an issue before. With just 12 seconds before we go live, I have no idea how to fix this. It all looks normal. Did we were able to hear the audio sounds from the track? Well, we're going to have to get in the car. We're going to get a grid. Well, they should be able to hear them now. We're Oh, that is bizarre. All right, let's call out this grid here, and we'll try to fix that part of the race. Sorry, folks, little technical difficulties, but I might as well call it out for you, Sal. Corey Ennis is on the pole in first. He's got Chris Cash to the outside. Matt Berasini is in third. Tyler Lemon fourth. Garrett Walden in fifth. Joe Musso in sixth. Tony Japs in seventh. Austin Walton in eighth. Jordan Wenzel in ninth. Ty Bostic in 10th. John DeRudris in 11th. Austin Wheeler sits in 12th. In 13th, you've got John Ledger. 14th is Scott Thomas. Vince Burns sits in 15th. Jacob Musso in 16th. Jeff Ramsdell in 17th. Ron Fitting in 18th. Dakota LaRue in 19th. And Shane Trotter in 20th. All right, so we've definitely got an issue here with the output. We'll try to get this resolved as quickly as we can. We'll keep. Yeah, I know. Your sounds all look good in the audio mixer. I just don't understand why there's no output. Yeah, it all looks active, all looks good. Yeah, great jump by Coriolis out in front as this field begins to settle down a bit behind him, but we're still trying to find our way 2 wide, 3 wide here in the back between Ledger, the 48 of uh, Austin Wheeler, and Ty Bostic to the outside. Yeah, he's certainly Drudger's down low. He's got Ledger behind him. He tries to take over the middle, which he does, but it's 2 and 3 wide here about mid-pack. Yep. Bear with us, folks. We're gonna be a little quiet here. We'll just let the. There you go. Oh my gosh. Coriolis just is out front. We'll bring up the current tower here so we can see leaders while we try to get the sound figured out. Yeah. That's Ty Bostic, yeah, in the 22. He has found the way to get that outside line to work. We've talked with a number of drivers trying to figure out what's the best way around this track, what's fast, what's slow, and it doesn't appear that there was a lot of favors uh, uh, car wise, but certainly that was a factor in driving style. So we'll see how that plays out once we can figure this audio component out, because we're Christopher Cash 99. Yep, Dakota LaRue, Chris Cash, Jeff Ramsell, Vince Burns, all involved in our first yellow that's come out here. There's that contact, I think, right there with the 42. Taps the 69 of Chris Cash and Dakota LaRue. Yeah, there's lots of unhappy drivers chatting right now. Wish we could bring that to you. We can't. You don't want to hear that. Okay. Well, our first caution of the night. We are still befuddled here as to why you can hear me and you can't hear everything else. Oh, man. All right. Yeah, I just we're the most important component is right here. That's the audio output capture. That's no, it comes out of my headset. Yeah. Don't know if that's going to help. If you hear Sal or cars, please chime in. If something's changed, we're trying to adjust things here. If all of a sudden it comes back, please text us and say, "Hey, I can hear you guys now. I can hear the cars." Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, he's picked up we're just talking about Ty Bostic. He's picked up a couple spots here. Big mover so far of the race is Shane Trotter. He's up 7 from back in last place, now up to 13th. Most drivers have picked up spots Corrientes still is out front leading, and he'll be about to get this back underway here. Apologize for the audio. You can't hear the cars. You can't hear my broadcast partner. We'll try to figure this out here throughout the course of the race. It's baffling to us. So. Yeah, he did not get just talking about Corrientes did not get the typical jump here. And he's got a lot of cars right there on his tail, not far behind, but they're running side by side. That is going to be to his advantage. Oh, the 43 dropped off the track a little bit there, got a little loose. He tagged that apron. That's Garrett Walden. They're wrecking. All right, we're pushing all kinds of buttons trying to make things work here. So far, I don't know. All right, so, well, we're not going to go too far. Let's go ahead and bring you back while the drivers come down to this caution. Let's kind of bring up just what happened here following the 17 car here. There was all kinds of action going on in front. You see that contact there? Wait, that's the previous event. Man, we are just not doing y'all any favors here. Let's try this one more time here. Oh, there we go. Let's back it up just a little bit here. So this just track is wide. 4 wide is not going to work here. Yep. That's Bostic, Tony Japs, Musso on the outside. The 17 of Austin Walton is there. There's more contact with the 42. They go around. It could have been a lot worse. But 59 barely squeaks it out and gets no contact with the 42. So a bit of an incident here at lap 11. Field has come down onto pit road, made their pit stops. Most drivers I'll rephrase that. About a third of the field came down, maybe about half the field came down. Most drivers at the tail end came down to get fuel and some repairs made. So, but the rest of the field is back up on top. Corrientes, Matt Perusini, we'll see. Let's just try something here real quick. So just made a change. If anybody's listening now, if you can hear the cars or you can hear Sal, let us know.
Hello, everyone.
Well, lights are off on the pace car, trying to get this back underway. and still nothing.
Okay, we'll see what happens. I see that little meter moving every time I talk. I don't know if that's a
Yeah,
good thing.
that's telling me I apparently don't know what's causing that, because that is your feed out of
OBS is really playing
yeah,
with you tonight.
yeah, OBS is not my friend. All right, we are underway. Coriolanus leads him and takes it as he gets the green flag out in front. Well, now we've got audio. Great. Somehow we fixed it, Sal. I can't tell you what we did. All right. I don't feel like I'm on an island anymore. Okay, go ahead, Sal. You've uh, and now we're that makes no sense. They said we had it, and now you're gone again. Yeah, I have no clue. Sorry, folks. Well, we'll do our best. You have no car sounds and just my voice. Lucky you. All right, so here we go. Coriolanus out in front. Jordan Wenzel, Garrett Walden sitting in second. We'll keep that ticker up and the tower up. We'll do our best to try and figure things out here. Yep, John Ledger's trying to find a way around Matt Parasini on the top side. Single file behind, trying to get a run here. And looking further on back in the pack here, back to John DeRugis and Walton. They're battling it out side by side here. This is for ninth place. Shane Trotter is out there as well. He's sitting in ninth. John DeRugis sits in 10th with the 17 of Austin Walton behind. The 99 Tyler Lem is in the pits trying to get repairs made from that earlier incident. So with 19 cars on the track here, these guys are still battling here pretty closely. No, I wish they could, Sal. They can't. I'm trying to find other options here. So it seems to be an issue with the audio feed. We're trying to figure it out. So. Yeah, good race, solid. The 17 of and the 59 are going side by side. Up in front, Corey Ennis is out. He's got Jordan Wenzel right there, not far behind. Bring up that track map, as you can see. You got a gaggle of cars all there together here. A couple of cars straggling, trying to make their way back around. That's the 97. I think that's also the 18 of Dakota LaRue. But the majority of the field is packed up 2 by 2. We'll see how it goes here. Yeah, see the 42 and the 59 are battling there. They're swapping positions there. The 17 got around the 59. See the 42 now going down low. Oh my gosh. Nope. I see the problem. I just can't fix the problem.
To play a factor. I think that's for 7th. And you got him a little further back. The 48 of Wheeler, the 59 of DeRugis, and the 28. That's Joseph Moussow, Joe Moussow. Yeah, we can throw a blanket over those boys right now. They've got company too. Who else is over there? Oh.
Oh, let's hope it stays. It's still there, folks. Let us know if it drops out. Yeah, and it's gone. Oh my gosh, this is just a nightmare. Sorry, folks. We're continuing to experiment here, try to figure out what is going on. Right? I think you're just along for the ride, unfortunately. It's an OBS issue here, from what I can tell. Don't know if that's helped at all. Let us know if you hear. Yep. They can't hear you, Sal. Sorry. You were back for 3 to 5 seconds and then gone. So lap 38 of 134. There's 5 laps to go before this stage is over. Coriana still out front. Matt Parastini has gotten around Jordan Wenzel and is currently sitting in second. Garrett Walden in fourth. Jacob Musso in fifth. The guy who's had his hands full back here has been John DeRudris in the 59. He has gotten just completely battled with. You see the 48 battling him side by side. So Tony Japson, the 42, battling him. He's been trapped on that outside. Not sure if that's where he wants to be, but that's where he is. We are looking, definitely trying to find out ways to figure this out. Yeah. The leaders are definitely bring up the gap information here. Is definitely stretched out here. But of course, a caution flag will fly here in just a few laps as we're about to get that stage break dropping in. Just 2 laps to go. All right, we're looking for options here, not finding a whole lot. So. We just, well, we're hoping this is a fix, but we just upgraded all the software. Um, Yeah, that was yeah. It shows that you've got audio into OBS. It just does not make any sense. Stage break is has happened and come out. So caution flies here for a stage break here at lap 45. Competition caution. Corey Ennis is out in front. Good point for Corey. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'd hate to yeah, hate to do that. We're still getting a broadcast. We're just looking at all different options of starting and stopping the broadcast and doing and just rebooting the whole broadcast rig. That certainly is an option. It's not the most preferred option. Yep. So cars coming down on pit road. The whole field is coming down. Focusing on these three leaders here: Ennis, Persini, and Wenzel. Yeah, we're not going to get interviews done if we can't get this figured out, Sal. Right, right. Yeah, it's all good. Corey Ennis gets off pit road first. He retains his position. Matt Pericini, Jordan Wenzel come out second. Field pretty much stays in the same, more or less, position. We did. DeRuger's came out pretty quickly there. Good pit stop for the 59. Garrett Walden as well did a good stop. So a little bit of a shakeup, not too bad. Some drivers still in the pits, wrapping up their pit stop, probably taking the opportunity to make a little bit of repair while they can. All right, let's try to figure something else out here. We're just at a loss because nothing has changed as a broadcast rig at all. Nothing changes there. Well, we're watching the field make their way out. Lights are off on top of the pace car as they're working their way back to take the green flag again here at lap 48. We'll get this race back underway. All right, Correas leads them to the stripe, and off he goes. Good jump there, but man, the field around him anticipated that absolutely. And you see Jordan Wenzel right there, tucks up and leverages it and just moves right around Matt Pericini, taking over second place. They did. Everybody, they pretty much had a good guess as to what was going to happen, and they definitely took advantage of that. They are right there on the 27's tail. Little drama going on in the back there. You've got Ty Bostic in the middle there, had the 48 of Austin Wheeler. They're side by side. See the 59 move up, the 42 side by side. They're almost three wide for a second there with Joe Musso, John DeRudris, and the 42 of Tony Japs, but they settled out. But now the 42 and the 59 are side by side. Oh, great insight. Wish you were able to be heard, Sal.
They're all, the front 10-ish cars here, 8-ish cars here, all running the same lines. They're a lane down, they're a bottom lane or a
You're probably back for 3 or 5 seconds here, and then. Yep. All right, Coriena still out in front leading this race. He's got a pretty good gap over Jordan Wenzel, just under a second, about 3/4 of the way. Matt Parasini there third, Jacob Musso, Garrett Walden, Austin Wheeler, trying to play tech support engineer and broadcaster all at the same time, and I am not doing well at that. See the 43 of of Garrett Walden to the outside there. Ty Bostic and Austin Wheeler all battling for that spot. That's for fifth. Looking for different options to try and bring that audio in here.
Ty Bostic getting a little frisky there on the outside line. 43, Garrett Walden with Austin Wheeler. That battle continuing now. Those three cars kind of close-ish.
Just added another audio feed. Let's see if that brings anybody in.
Whoa, 42 or the 22 and the 43 there trying to figure it out. They were swiping a little snot off each other's noses there for a second. Fingers crossed. See what happens. All that coming and going there. Ty Bostic, he's got 42.
Corey is still out in front. Jordan Weaver. Jordan Wenzel out in second. Matt Piracini sitting in third, Jacob Musso in fourth, Austin Wheeler in fifth, Garrett Walden in sixth. Trying to see what's happening. Nothing so far. We're doing everything we can to try and pull this off, but still no audio. 63 laps complete. Coming up on the halfway point here. Corey Ennis out in front. Man, he could definitely use a win. Let's go ahead and look real quickly. Currently on the standing seat, Corey Ennis is right there in fifth. He would love to punch his ticket and go into the Roval with a win. All right, lap 64. Oh, and now they can't hear me either.
A double duty? No good?
Yeah. Oh, what is going on? Wait, Lorraine said she can hear.
Okay.
Well, let's see if it keeps up.
Okay. Let's see if I get my ATV up. Hold up. There we go.
Can you hear us? Can you hear the cars and can you hear Sal? That's the real question.
I feel like I'm living inside of one of those old Verizon commercials or Sprint commercials. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now? Oh, okay. Lorraine says she can hear everything.
Okay. Well, there we go.
I don't know what changed. I'm not going to touch anything on that side.
All right, here we go. Well, we're back in action. Lap 66 of 134 here. We've got Corey Ennis has dominated this race out in the lead here. Has an absolute, not absolute dominant pace, but, about a half a second closer to the start-finish line than the competitor Jordan Wenzel in that 81 car, as he and Matthew Parasini have a little bit of a closer deal that they're working on with one another. But as time goes on here, those three have really separated themselves from the rest of the field. It's a 25, Jacob Musow running in fourth here with Austin Wheeler hot on his tail. Wheeler going to absolutely take the run off the corner of two and get around Musow on the bottom side there. Garrett Walden running in sixth. He's looking up there at the 48 car and going, how can I do that? Trying to figure this track out, top line, bottom line. Where are you the most comfortable and how much tire have you used up throughout the stint here as time goes on? Austin Walton, Ty Bostic, and Tony Japs, as well as John Ledger, round out the top 10.
All right, let's get back to actually producing a broadcast here. All right. Coriolanus out in front. Matt Parasini finds himself in second. Jordan Wenzel is in third. Austin Wheeler is in fourth. Jacob Musso right there behind is in fifth. Garrett Walden in sixth. Austin Walton in seventh. Ty Bostic is currently sitting in eighth. Tony Japs in ninth. And John Ledger in 10th. DeRudris has slipped back. He's now where he started and qualified from. He's in 11th. Somehow everything has come back. I don't want to touch it. I have no idea, but it is what it is. So we'll go with it.
Oh yeah, I can hear myself on the broadcast now. Here we go.
There we go.
We're cooking with gas. We're cooking with gas now.
Cooking with gas.
Right. Cooking with gas. Who has enough though? Speaking of cooking with gas, who has enough to get back up to Coriolanus? Because that gap is getting larger and larger. We just commented a couple of laps ago that, yeah, half a second's great, but he's out to 7/10 now over Matthew Parasini.
Well, and here's the thing. We know we can do about 45 laps per tank of fuel. They're going on to they pitted last on lap 46. That means lap 90. So sometime in the next 19 laps, these drivers will come in. However, there's 134 laps. So if you've got to come in on lap 91, that means your next stint is going to be super close because 91 to 134 is going to be 44 laps.
Yeah, it's going to turn into kind of a fuel mileage race here as drivers start to pace out their runs and figure out exactly when they think they can come down pit road to get fueled up and go to the end. Wouldn't be surprised if you saw drivers saving, before their next green flag pit stop if things stay the way they are. Wouldn't be surprised if you seen them clutching up and trying to save and get through as many laps as they can like they would at the end of a race trying to save fuel, just to make sure when they come down pit road they get themselves 100% full to the brim tank so they can make the run all the way to the checkered flag.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be trying to use as much fuel, squeeze as much fuel out of these tanks as possible because you're going to have to make it, in my calculations, Sal, you're going to have to make it to at least lap 90 to have anything left for the rest of this race. And that's if it stays under green flag conditions and we don't go into green-white checker or restart situation. Now, if caution comes out, that changes everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And with races like this here tonight, you never know, what could happen. These cars are fairly gapped out right now. We don't want to discredit anybody's racing ability here tonight, but this track just kind of warrants this type of racing where if you can't kind of keep up, stay up, the aerodynamics of the car. We talked to John DeRudris a little bit before this, a little bit about how the aerodynamics were affecting him on the 10-lap run. It's not easy to just make a run back up to the car in front of you and then manipulate the air around that car to make a pass. It's not like the old days here at Kansas, unfortunately, but it's going to open the door for things like this to happen one by one, but that's going to make the pit strategy and the fuel strategy that much more of a factor as we've got 55 here in the 79. That's Scott Thomas in the 79. Got a mirror full.
Yeah, we're just kind of looking through the field here, looking at other battles that are happening on track. You see these three drivers, Vince Burns, Scott Thomas, and Ron Fitting here, all battling towards the end of the pack. A bit farther up, we've got Joe Musso. He's there with John Ledger and John DeRudris there. That's for 10th, 11th, and 12th. As Sal said, we're just kind of all spread out a bit here. Shane Trotter in the 38 is on pit road. Maybe a bit early to come in, but I'm not sure his race car is performing as he would like it to at this point. Number of drivers got Christopher Cash. He's sitting back in 17th position here. He is a lap down. He would be, if the caution does fly, he's in position for that lucky dog.
Christopher Cash, a rough go last time out here for Christopher Cash, and just trying to make sure that it works here for him this week at Kansas. Want to get those laps locked, want to get those points earned, even if it means, okay, you're on, you're the first car lap down, but lots of opportunity, being patient, being able to get back out there if a yellow comes out, and being within striking distance when the time is right. But a lot of race here left, a lot of run here left for Cash, and a lot of other drivers here too as we take a peek here at the leader. That's Coriolanus still out there battling you know, battling himself, just trying to put down the best lap time he can, lap over lap over lap. Right now, he's running a 31.170. His best lap of the race so far is a 30.038. So that's going to be a whole second and then some from his previous lap. Just shows you the tire degradation here and how much these tires just cheese grade their way right up off of the track. And going to play a factor, see how much of a gap he can stay out on. I mean, almost we've checked in on the gap a few times, all right, in the last run here. Matt DeParasini is now, just about 0.8 behind him. So, if anything, Coriolis is continuing at maybe at a slower pace now than earlier in the race, but continuing to build the gap here, which is something that these competitors like Matt DeParasini and Jordan Wenzel are going to want to keep track of. Is their leaders getting out and getting away.
Yeah, they're not closing. Matt Persini's last lap was a 31.29. Wenzel 31.18. Coriolis 31.17. So they're just treading water here between these drivers. Now, just to recap, a couple drivers did come in last time by. That would be Scott Thomas and Shane Trotter. All came in lap 75. They decided to make it. They come in there. Not sure why, but again, every driver has their own strategy how to be successful tonight.
Yeah, there is no one-size-fits-all here at Kansas. Everybody's going to run their own race and figure out what they want to do. As you see what Coriolis is doing. Throughout the field, we've got Dakota LaRue moving the wrong direction right here. Tony Japs just finished a pass on him, and John DeRugeris is making a run as we see Tyler Lem and the 28 of Joe Musow also closing in all on one another here in this tight little pack. I feel like we've talked about these drivers quite a bit here as the night has gone on, and really looking to see what they can do as Lem is going to look to the high side here. LaRue way slower off the pace in the wall. Going to make things interesting here. They're too wide. They're all going to get around. And Lem.
Dakota LaRue is 3 laps down. It's not something I think he was involved in that earlier incident, so he's definitely off the pace, but he's doing his best to tread water as a playoff driver.
Yeah, certainly gave us something to see there as Tyler Lem had to make a difficult navigation there around the 59 and the 28. And he's not done. I mean, he has a lot of wheel up on that car right now, making a run up here to the 42 with Tony Japs, that 99 car. One to watch out for. I mean, I know he's probably on some fresher stuff.
Yeah, but he's 23 laps behind, so he's out getting repairs. So he's making some hay, but he's got to repair. His car is repaired from that earlier incident.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense that he would be running as well as he is with those repairs done to those fresher tires. Absolutely, like passing them like they're standing still here. Not sure he'll get all those laps back, but the way he's running right now, he might get one.
Keep an eye on the field here. Lap 84 in the books. Again, we're tracking towards lap 90-ish for next round and green flag stops. And most of these drivers came in at the stage break. Again, as we said earlier, a handful of drivers came in off on their own time under green flag conditions, and that unfortunately puts them a lap down. You can't come in at Kansas, make a regular 4-tire stop and get back out without going a lap down. Coriolis actually is expanding his lead a bit on the 24 of Matt Parasini. That gap is now over 1 second as the leader gets around the 97 of Jeff Ramsdell. You can see that delta right there. ...87 laps in the books. Looking back to lap the 10th position, you've got Tony Japs there in 9th. He's got DeRugeris behind him. In front of Tony, you've got Ty Bostic. Austin Walton is there with the 43. They're dealing with Tyler Lem there, the 99 to the outside.
He continues to charge up through the field.
He does.
I know he's down laps, but it's fun to watch, isn't it?
We're watching that 99 try to make his way around here and see what he can do.
In 17 and then 43 in the crosshairs here. Uh-oh, as somebody catches a little bit of wall there. Who's that, the 99?
That's the 99.
Yeah, that's why we keep an eye on these lap cars, even though they're not totally in the mix. They can certainly cause a little bit of a headache for the drivers that are on the lead lap if they get out of shape. But good on Tyler Lem there to collect that as quickly as he lost it and be able to continue on here and not cause too much of an issue for everybody behind him.
He's staying up a little on the high side right now. You're watching the 25 of Jacob Musso make his way around. Ron Fitting has made his way down to pit road here, lap 89. He is getting that service on that number 3 Toyota.
When do we see some more green flag pit stops, Rick? I feel like we're in the window, right?
We are in the window right now already, right there. You got one, Austin with a 48, making his way down. Also, we've got Austin Walton, Ty Bostic, Tony Japs. There's 4 right now, 5 on pit road as we speak.
Yeah, it seemed like it was coming to be about time. I lost track a little bit there as we were watching that 99 just kind of rip around on the top side. But yeah, a good time to get your pit stops in. Corey Ennis, over a second out ahead of Matthew Parasini at this point, 90 laps into this race. These drivers need something for him here. And pit cycle and pit strategy, they're keys to the race as well as tire wear. And this is the time to capitalize. If you think you can get back close up to somebody like Corey Ennis, long green flag runs here all night long after, just a few very quick consecutive cautions. It's definitely one where we're going to keep an eye on pit road. It's going to make a difference.
Yeah, I think everybody starting now, the top 8 have not pitted. My guess is they're waiting for that leader to make a decision. But at some point, that fuel cell is going to make that decision for you. Garrett Walden, John Ledger on pit road. So only top 6. Top 6 have not pitted at this point. We're all watching Corey Ennis, Matt Parasini, Jordan Wenzel, Jacob Musso, John D, and Joe Musso make decisions here as to when that stop is coming here. 92 laps in the books. That time by no takers.
It'll be interesting. Keep an eye on that as we get around here. This pit road should be a fairly busy place here in the next few laps. We're talking about just about a 40 lap run next time by. Yeah, see a few more come down. They're getting ready to come down as the leaderboard starts to light up on my screen. But we got Wheeler and Walton. Uh-oh. Walton gets sent up into the wall there a little bit by Austin Wheeler. 17 just disappeared back there going into turn 1, but looks like 59 John DeRuger's come down. He'll come down for his green flag pit stop right now.
Yep, you got Matt Parasini, Jordan Wenzel as well. Somehow Ennis and the Mussos are out there. They have not come in.
That's a long run for those guys.
Oh, I think here,
yep, slowing down here.
27 is saying, okay, it's time. I just gotta put some gas in it.
Yeah, I mean, tires at this racetrack, you can get around here pretty well, but once the fuel starts running out, the problem. The problem is it ain't got no gas in it, and that's one that you can only get on pit road. I feel like we make that joke a lot nowadays.
We do, yeah. I think Billy Bob Thornton's career is just taken back off with whole landman. So, all right, Corey Ennis, our leader on pit road, getting his stop in. We're keeping an eye on just what he does. He took the pole here at Kansas in the Hollywood Casino 200. He has kept it. He has led a ton of laps here.
Let's see what kind of work he's going to have to do coming off of pit road here. He is going to have to get back out onto that transition part of the track in a hurry. He's got cars coming around. I believe that's Matthew Parasini. Yes, and Jordan Wenzel. Those are guys that he's going to get back up and around for position here at this track. Just goes to show your time on pit road here, doesn't doom you. Not like with the shorter tracks we've seen run here on the schedule. You can get a pit stop done and get back out and not worry about losing too much track position. So Corey Ennis, on the okay side of this is he's going to get to third. But caution is out.
Caution comes out. I'm not sure why Austin Walton is in the pits. Not sure what brought out that caution. Let's highlight the 17 since he's on pit road and go see what. Well, that wasn't Austin Walton. Kind of flipping back to see what we see. Do we see anything?
That 3 car? I feel like I heard somebody in the maybe a water bottle went flying out the window.
Yeah, could be something. 3 is just kind of making it around. I don't see anything there that brought out that yellow flag. All right.
Okay.
No idea. Let's go live and see if we can reach the admins and say what the heck happened.
See if I can pull it up in the session. It looks like the caution was thrown by an admin, but I don't see any incidents that happened in that vicinity through iRacing's through the iRacing incident updates. So I'm sure we'll get that cleared up here. Lap 97. Going to give an opportunity for a lot of these drivers though who stayed out to come get fuel, come get tires this trip around. Not sure how many have already come down, but we'll have a couple of takers.
I'm not sure that you're going to have any takers, really. I mean, everybody just came. Well, I take that back. Already we're seeing a few. Some of the drivers, who had come in earlier. We're waiting on some responses from admin. So Thomas, Fitting, Trotter, Ramsell, LaRue, Walton. All right. Admins are basically saying that caution was thrown because something happened, so. So there wasn't any incident on track. Unfortunately, that's just the nature of the beast. Caution here is thrown on lap 98. The good news is it didn't hurt anybody. In fact, if anything, well, I'm going to take that back. The person who it may have hurt is Matt Parasini.
Yeah, he was surely not looking for a yellow to come out. He and Jordan Wenzel were running really well with one another there, gapping out the rest of the field. Now you've got Corey Ennis on fresh tires right off of pit road, who's going to have the opportunity to get in this position. The pack's back bunched up, get a good restart here. We could have a real sweet battle for the lead here coming up in the next couple of laps here.
All right. So the lights are off on top of our pace car. Field is forming back up. This is good news for the 27 of Corey Ennis. Let's bring back up some information here just to get a feel for, let's get rid of that gap information there. That's annoying. So as you can see, 95 laps led by Corey Ennis, start to finish, except when that caution, except for that round of green flag pit stops came out. He basically gave the lead over to Matt Parasini for 4 laps here at lap 99. He's hoping to get it back here. He is going to be
only gave up 2 spots, by the way, too, which is a big deal, or 3 spots, which is a big deal for Corey Ennis, who obviously has been really good on the restart here, as we saw earlier in the race. And I am sure as we've watched guys try to manage that restart, he's going to be one who's able to do it better than most, as Parasini and Wenzel will lead the charge here back through as we get ready to go green.
All right. Drivers back in that restart zone, and we are underway. See, Matt Parasini, good jump by the 24.
Yeah, that's a good jump by the 24, and you see, guess who else but Corey Ennis able to chase him through the hole he created there, run from 4th to 2nd with Wheeler on the bottom line behind him and Wenzel on the top line, trying to keep it even as they go through the exit of turn number 2.
27 of Corey Ennis sets his sights now, trying to find a way to get around that 24. Now is the time to do it, as he's also trying to cover that outside line. He moves up high.
Well, if there was ever a time to use up those newer tires, however much newer they are, this is it. You're going to see Corey Ennis searching around for speed with those fresh tires everywhere that he can. About a lane up is where I think he really wants to be, and it's where he is right now as he's closing that gap on Matthew Pericini as he looks to the inside.
Tries to block.
That block, ambitious.
Oh,
but
contact!
Ennis, gonna send him up the track just a little bit. Ennis gonna get out to the lead here. Pericini, Ennis better run. Pericini won't be too happy with that move, just shuffling him up. But that puts Corey Ennis back in the lead.
Jordan Wenzel fixes in second. Oh, contact! Saves it. What a save! The 81 saves it. Don't know how. Don't know why he was able to do that. Still, there's contact. Oh, he gets bumping at 22. He's in the wall.
They're still saving it out there. Jordan Wenzel like a ping pong ball out there, just not sure which way is up as he's all over the place, getting dinged and bumped and thrown all over and around here at Kansas. My goodness.
Yeah, Wenzel's back to 14th, back up to the front. Corey Ennis out in front. He's got Austin Wheeler now on his tail with Matt Pericini, Garrett Walden, and Jacob Musso. That little incident shook up the lead.
Yeah, that little bit of contact that gets things moving around does a whole lot here, as we saw Wenzel, the unfortunate recipient of some contact by a few cars, shuffles all the way back to 13th place. I'm sure this won't be the last we see of Jordan Wenzel tonight, as
he's not going to be happy.
No, he's not.
We've done interviews with Jordan. He is not a happy camper right now. Not at all.
Driving angry is driving fast, as long as he can keep a bottle on some of the emotions.
And he's in the thick of it back there. You can see him. He's got Tyler Lem right there. He's setting his sights on the 55 of Vince Burns. Those are position spots here with that 81. That 81 does have a little bit of nose damage from that contact, but I don't think he cares. He's going to drive the tires off that car.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think he's going to leave anything out there tonight. And this race at Kansas, he's going to be searching around all over for it and trying to get back up to the front the hard way, as the rest of the field seems to be stringing out one by one from Corey Ennis back on here through the remainder of the field. Not too many battles shaping up. Maybe a few laps tick away here. Drivers start to get a little bit more ambitious. I'm curious, Rick, as we go on here tonight, how much longer some drivers choose to wait and how long some drivers choose to really hard charge their way down in here through these corners and use up all that nice new tire we saw them come get on that green flag pit stop.
Well, I think they're running out of time, because right now you've only got about 28 laps left. These laps are ticking away as fast as you can imagine here, and they're just not making enough ground. It's hard to gain.
And again, it is that factor of these cars, this generation car. And we don't like to, NASCAR racing fans, we're not just a bunch of complainers, I promise. But it is just the way that this next-gen car is. It's a brick on wheels sometimes, and it is hard for this aero package to really work to the driver's advantage and have them hard drive it through. I say that as I watch Scott Thomas absolutely put a heater of a lap on the 22 of Ty Bostic, get around him on the outside there. What a great pass by him. But really hard to run down the leaders here if you're in one of these positions to make a challenge for that front 3 or 4 positions here, as the laps just are ticking away.
Yeah, we are single file pretty much around the entire track. But the cars are, they're not that far off. They're a car length or 2 or 3, but that's about all the gap they've got. It's just, they just can't gain on each other.
Yeah, and it's just
Speaking
the nature
of gain, bring up that gap information. So right now, Corey Ennis has nearly a full second over the second place Austin Wheeler.
Well, it's deja vu all over again for Corey Ennis. He's back to almost the same gap he was out leading by the last round. I don't think it's just tires for Corey Ennis. I think he's got, that muscle memory for him and the way he's running this track here tonight. He's got a little bit more preparedness perhaps than some of these other drivers, a little more consistency. But it's showing a little bit at a time every single lap here as he continues to pull away here now, 0.8 of a second out. And he's going to look to stretch that even more. Really smooth. You can see it even from the outside of the car here, this camera angle we're on. You can see that really smooth turn down into the corner and managing that line as he's on that that one tar line up from the white line. And I know that seems insignificant maybe to viewers or those who are watching, but that is where you want to be. And it doesn't take much to get thrown off in just how deep you take the corner, how early, and you can end up burning up your stuff. But Corey Ennis, just a master of his craft here. As we go inside into the cockpit here, you see those lights on the dashboard representing his throttle control. He is just absolutely just babying that car around the corner, but that is where the speed is. You don't need to be hammered down full Ricky Bobby style here at Kansas to make it happen, and Corey Ennis has figured it out. You see him get into that high rev range entering turn 1, and he's going to continue on down into turns 1 and 2 on the bottom there, making a ton of speed and getting a good run here onto the backstretch. That is the key. Again, that watch his wheel too, that little orange tape mark on the top of the wheel, just moving ever so slightly, scrooching left, just nice and calm and controlled. Looks like he's driving Miss Daisy out there. Sunday afternoon driving for Corey Ennis now, as he's 9/10, approaching a second of gap between he and the 48 of Austin Wheeler. Going to be a great night for Austin Wheeler, though, as well, if he can come home in this P2 position after winning last week. We talk about points position. You know, Austin obviously locked into the next round with that win, but definitely wanting to get as many of those points as you can to carry through for the rest of the playoff. Might not be able to catch Corey Ennis, but have a productive night regardless of that. So I think the real conversation is around Matthew Parasini, who's, you know, a second and a half back from the lead now. He's going to have to figure it out and get himself rolling here in a hurry, as he's seemingly closing the gap here on Austin Wheeler. But we'll see what he can do over the next, oh my goodness, we're already
20 to go.
20 laps to go.
And
time
he's
is running out.
4/10 behind Austin Wheeler.
Gonna be tight. And you see, like we talked about earlier, up on the totem there, positions 1 through 7, all playoff drivers here tonight. So leading this race in the top 7 positions, we've got Ty Bostic. He's our lone playoff driver there, rounding out the top 10. Vince Burns and Jordan Wenzel, who got involved in that incident earlier on. You got a feel for Jordan Wenzel here tonight, as that incident kind of happened out of his control and really just pulled him back through the field. And unfortunately, the way this car is and the way this track is, it's going to be really tough for him to gain a ton more positions tonight. Looking to make a run and making a salvage a good points tonight here for him. I don't know. It's going to be tough.
Well, with just 18 laps to go, Corey Ennis still out in front. You know, he's just cruising along by himself. He's probably super cool in the car. He's got nothing in his windshield. You know, maybe a little bit in his rear view mirror. Austin Wheeler, on the other hand, he's got a rear view mirror full of the 24 of Matt Parasini, who has now closed that gap to just 2/10, trying to get his way around with just 18 laps to go.
Yeah, Corey Ennis running pace laps here. It feels like just able to control that car so well. And Austin Wheeler going to have to play defense. So we'll see what happens as they move on in this race, continue on in this race. We've got a little bit of a battle maybe developing here. John Ledger in the 19 closing up on the 25 of Jacob Musow for the 5th overall position. He's got the 43 of Garrett Walden. You know, Garrett Walden's been trying to manage his stuff all night long and make sure that he's able to get a good run here, and he's running really, really well in that 4th position, but going to have to make sure he can manage that gap back to the 25 just enough. Not to burn his stuff up, but not to lose any spot. Oh, as we have a caution.
Caution comes out.
In the wall. Uh-oh.
Oh, he's pointing in the wrong direction there. Big damage, I think, on that 59.
Uh-oh. Big John ain't going to be too happy. That's not a good run. Looked like he... he's got some major damage. That car is done. He is toast. Left front don't look so hot, and those wheels ain't quite pointed in the right direction. He's crab walking out there.
He's pointing the wrong direction. What happened to D? Let's go back and look.
running 7th place.
We got to back that up. Something happened before that.
Oh, he's running the bottom line here, coming off of turn 4. He in the 42. That's Tony Japs battling for that position. Japs looks like he just gets into him a little bit behind, tries to make the look up high work.
You know, I don't think there's actually any contact. I think it may just be aero.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Rick. I think the aero packing, and we talked about this with John earlier about how aero pushes can affect these cars and how close that 42 is to him up to his bumper. Might not have been any contact, but gets the 59 loose. The 59 in a really uncomfortable place there, able to get it down onto the flat, but
and contact with the 55 as well. 55 got major damage there.
Yeah, Vince Burns there, just nowhere to go. Absolutely, just comes snowballing into him. Just not a great deal, but a racing incident nonetheless. But that's what you get here with the laps ticking away at Kansas.
All right, 14 laps to go. We're under caution. The entire field is in. DeRudris, he's got a meatball. He is done for the night. Vince Burns stayed out. Not sure if he's got any damage on that car. But he doesn't think so if he's still out there. Oh, that was a quick pit stop by the 48 of Austin Wheeler. I think he took only right side tires. Let's go back and look at that real quick.
We talked about this earlier in the broadcast, Rick. We talked about, will anybody go for that strategy? Might they try to jump the field with a 2-tire stop? As we watch the replay come up here, let's see.
Let's try to get a better shot here. I'm looking for a better camera here on that 48. Let's see if there's an even tighter one. No, we'll just go with this one here. Let's back it up just a little bit. All right, let's watch this in regular speed here. 48 comes in. Right side goes up. He's got right side tires. And that's it.
That left side come up.
Nope. So only a handful. Let's go back to live action here. Just to give you an idea, just 2 drivers took right sides only. The 48 of Austin Wheeler and the 3 of Ron Fitting. That was it.
Yeah, that's a baller move by the 48 to be able to make that pit call. I don't know how that's going to work out. It's going to be playing defense, I think, on Parasini and Ennis, who have had really great nights here tonight, running up at the front and having good jumps on the restart. But we've seen what Austin Wheeler can do. I can't help but think about that Bristol race where he just restarted so well every single lap. He ended up, we got Cash sideways under pace laps here. Christopher Cash, I could have swore I saw that 69 pointed the wrong direction.
Yeah, he's definitely back. Not sure what's going on. Don't want to miss the restart here, but definitely the 69 was not going the right way.
Crazy what happens here in the closing stages of Kansas as they get ready to head back into the restart zone. It'll be Corey Ennis, Austin Wheeler controlling it, and Austin Wheeler getting a great jump through the restart zone.
Man, he spun his tires just a little bit, but that allowed the 48, the 24 to maybe make up a little bit on. I think the 27 backed off a little bit because he saw that 48 spin, and that has jumbled up behind the 48. Look at this.
Yeah, that is crazy. After a night where we thought Corey Ennis was a shoo-in, leading so many laps, it's the 48 now of Austin Wheeler out front, but how long will it last for? He jumps out to just about a half a second lead. Well, they're 2 and 3 wide coming into turn 1.
Well, fresh tires on these guys behind him, all 4. I think you're going to see right now, 27 brushes the safer barrier there as he tries to get around the 24 there door to door here.
If you're the 48 of Austin Wheeler, you love what you see behind you right now. Ennis and Parasini battling side by side. That's going to distract them from really making a great run back up to him, battling each other, taking that speed off of one another as we see a couple of cars scraping the wall there, trying to get all the speed that they can and entering turn number 1. Austin Wheeler here continuing to get out to that lead. That clean air, such a factor here. Not sure if we've called that out, but the leader's having that advantage just because of that.
Wheeler just not interrupt. Austin Wheeler just put up the fastest lap of the race, 29.979.
Yeah, that is a fast lap for Austin Wheeler. Uh-oh, as the 24 and the 27 get together just a little bit.
Oh, 24 is...
Oh, he can't hang on to it. He's in the wall. Oh, that is going to change.
Caution
things.
comes out. Parasita's got some damage.
A lot of nose damage there as he went.
Major playoff implications here. I think he's got some... Yeah, that car is not driving well. Looks like there's a little bit of net code, maybe.
Perhaps. Let's see here. As these, we had talked about the battle that was unfolding between the 27 and the 24.
Well, the 24 is coming down, and let's see that again. So watch that seam there. See, the 24 begins to drop down. The 27 trying to get away from him. He continues to come down, and unfortunately, he's not clear in front of the 27, and there's contact.
Yeah. And the 24 almost able to hold on to it, but just as he slides up onto that top line into the marbles coming off of the 27, just Tokyo drifting his way there, not able to hold on. That
right
wheel
there
snaps out of his hand. And he just absolutely demolishes that safer barrier with the nose of that car. And that's going to put him out of this one, I would imagine, depending on how much damage he's really got. You hear Parasini over the driver's radio, not happy with a number of these guys as they were running really tight quarters there, trying to make it work. But not what you want to see for the 24 in this playoff race.
It does not look like he's got a meatball or anything at this point. So... he could get back out there. Let's see what he does.
Just gotta finish, get those laps in, get those points.
So this is very interesting. 7 laps to go. Austin Wheeler, Coriolis will be to his inside or outside, depending on how the 48 chooses to line up. Really, you've got to be, if you're the 27, this needs to be the restart of the race.
This is going to be the restart that determines the rest of this, and that's not a hot take, right? Don't clip that. This is gonna be the restart though that determines the outcome of this race, obviously, because we might not get another one after this. So if you're the 48 though, you're Austin Wheeler, you took 2 tires, you're sitting at the front of the field, you just were out at a second ahead of the rest of the pack here. Now you've got Coriolis on your outside, who's done a fantastic job all night long on the restart. Didn't have such a great restart the last time, but the restart is an art form, and it's something that is unique to American motorsports in the way that NASCAR and oval track racing does this, and it is not easy to figure out. And 2 guys that we know run restarts really well, who we haven't talked much about tonight. It's the 25 of Jacob Musow and the 43 of Garrett Walden now, who are also in the mix in the front. So we are in for a show, ladies and gentlemen. If you are just tuning in to the iNRS League here on the IWM Broadcast Network, grab your popcorn. Make sure your straw is safely placed in your soda cup, because this one is going to get very entertaining in a very quick period of time here as we get ready to go back green.
This last 6 laps could be the best 6 laps of the race. As right now you see Austin Wheeler, he's going to figure out how to get around, how to really manage this next few laps here with the guy who has led. Let's bring up that stat. Austin Wheeler has led 8 laps. Coriolis 115 laps here.
That's a lot of laps to lead.
Here we go.
As they get back close here. Wheeler going to lead them through here, the restart zone, and they are off. Wheeler gets a great jump. It's going to be Musow.
Oh, contact a little bit with the 25 of Musow and the 27 of Ennis there. 27 of Ennis did not get the restart he wanted.
If you're the 48, you're loving life right now. You're jumping out 0.3 of a second here. That gap is going to continue to increase as we see the 43. That's Garrett Walden making a move on the 27. The 27 about to go into the middle. Not quite, stuck his nose in, decided better of it. And the 25 going to get out to a little bit. Going to get out in the way a little bit.
43 is wrecking. They're wrecking the back. John Ledger now takes over third, and we're back under caution here for a heck of a shakeup.
I wasn't hollering too loud for the headphone users out there, but that was that was something. I just you felt the pressure cooker getting hotter and hotter, and the pressure mounting. But I did not expect to see that little bit of nose to bumper contact as we pull up the replay here. Ennis maybe scrapes the wall a little there. Okay, no harm, no foul. He's just looking to come down the track here and misjudges it. I think the 43 may be coming up just a little bit, but Garrett Walden just minding his business as that Corey Ennis misjudges that one and brings out the caution.
Bring that up one more time. Watch that at regular speeds here. Did he?
I think maybe
the 40,
Ennis.
Maybe a little bit of victimless. Let's go back one more time. I don't like to overanalyze it too much because we've, You'll see the 43 drop down onto the apron here. Oh, I say that. The 25 dropped down on the apron.
I think 27 was just trying to chase the 25 down, thinking he was clear there. The 43, I think the 27 thinks the 43 is going to also chase the 25 down onto the apron there. And just one of these deals that's a racing incident. The 43 staying up on the track and just a little bit enough to make that contact. I mean, that's so hard to see from inside of the cockpit. You don't know at that fast of a closure rate that the 43 has on the 27. A racing incident, it's easy for us to say up here in the broadcast, but these guys are going to be frustrated behind the wheel. But just one of these deals that happens as you run out of time at Kansas trying to make something happen.
Dakota LaRue gets one of his laps back. And we are under caution, so we'll finish with, I guess, a green-white checker here on this restart. All right, if this is, I'm probably preaching to the choir here, but green-white checkers are exciting. That green flag flies. The field makes it back to the flag stand. The white flag will fly. If nothing happened prior to that white flag coming out, no matter what happens, the race will end at the conclusion of that white flag lap. If something does happen, we rack and stack and do it all over again.
I think this one's going to be for all the marbles, Rick. I think Austin Wheeler, though, what a decision to take those two tires. Just a big brain, mega mind move on the 48's part.
Well, and we asked the other drivers about would they take two tires. The answer was really no. So,
yeah, it wasn't even a thought.
No, it was almost like, really, you're even asking that question? Yeah, we did. And Austin Wheeler said, hey, let's do it. So
I'm glad we asked, because it's what's going to make the difference here tonight for Austin Wheeler. And again, regardless of if he wins this race, it's still a wonderful points night for Austin Wheeler as we see him locked himself into the next round. But a lot of
Austin Wheeler won last week in New Hampshire, so this is another opportunity here.
Yeah, I think he could. I don't know. He's just as capable as anyone else here, even with those two tires. I think he's rolling the dice. The Hollywood Casino 200. This is it.
Well, don't forget, in the first round, Austin Wheeler won twice. So he's on a roll.
Place to be sitting. Yeah. Nope. He likes getting to the front, and he's comfortable up here. I'll tell you what, though, Jacob Musau not going to want to have him feeling so comfortable here as we get going. He's still searching for that win, that playoff win, to lock himself in. And we see the other Musau, Joe Musau, back there in fifth. That'd be quite a finish tonight here for the Musau boys.
Yep. Unfortunately, you see Matt Parasini. He's at the tail end of this round of 12. He was back with 12 points down. He needed this. That didn't happen tonight.
Austin Wheeler gets a good jump on the restart there as we go back under green flag conditions. He jumps up to the high side, and he's getting ready to get out and away here. 0.2 of a second with that clean air. He loves seeing these guys race side by side behind him, and we'll see how they are able to make it work out here between Walden and Musow as Ledger tries to chase them down.
It's coming down to just those two guys are side by side. That's Walden and Musow trying to figure out who's going to take that second place position here. No one has anything right now for Austin Wheeler.
Yeah, and they are chasing each other. They are just trading paint just a little bit. Hopefully they can keep it clean. I think Jacob's going to be able to get that position. I think we heard over the radio, Garrett Walden, I think, felt like he couldn't push it any harder than that, and a smart play by the 43, knowing the limitations of his car and knowing where he's at in the race and settling for third. It's not settling when you have a great points day like that as we come around here. The white flag lap for Austin Wheeler. Somebody sideways here. The 99.
Austin Wheeler wins the race. You're looking at the YouTube feed.
I'm trying to. My eyeballs are all over the screens here as I look from iRacing to the YouTube feed to the OBS feed and all over the place. It's a lot happening here in that last lap, but Austin Wheeler
pulls it off. Jacob Musow, Garrett Walden. Bear with us. They're going to grab a photo here. We'll get you the results, and then we'll have some drivers in the booth with some interviews.
There's a lot of.
All right, there's your finish right now, and I think we've got results.
Oh man, this is interesting.
There you go. All right,
we've got it.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No.
Austin Wheeler, your winner.
Go ahead.
Austin Wheeler, your winner here tonight. Jacob Musow, Garrett Walden, Jordan Wenzel, John Ledger wrapping out the top five. Ty Bostic, Corey Ennis, Christopher Cash, Matthew Parasini bringing it home in 9th position after that damage. And then Scott Thomas rounding out the top 10.
Tony Japs finishes in 11th, Joe Musow in 12th, Vince Burns in 13th, Dakota LaRue in 14th, Jeff Ramsdell in 15th, Ron Fitting in 16th, Shane Trotter in 17th, John Derugis finishes unfortunately in 18th, Tyra Lem in 19th, and Austin Walton in 20th. All right, that's our results. Crazy race. Thank you so much for those of you who hung on and were there for us as we dealt with our gremlins in our soundboard. We certainly appreciate you hanging on. So with that, I think we've got Garrett Walden in the booth. Let's go ahead and bring in Garrett Walden. Garrett, welcome to the broadcast booth. Wow, that was a wild finish to that race.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah, that was. I don't. From the Phantom caution, which I know our admin, Josh, he apologized for, but to just that hard racing at the end. It was. That was just. I felt like I just drove. My hands are sweating a little bit.
Well, we saw that earlier incident. We're at towards the end there between yourself and the 27. As you guys are both charging for that same racing line. Constant battle throughout the race. But you had a pretty consistent race tonight. You started in 5th. You finished right there in 3rd. You're up front most of the night.
Yeah, a lot of this track is the main thing is just like maintaining tires now with the new model and the way the car setups are now. It's a lot of aero driving, and my main focus coming in here was just being consistent, running consistent line, running consistent laps, and just staying out of trouble.
Well, I think you accomplished what your goals were. Any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, I just want to shout out you guys up here in the booth calling the race for us every week. Great league, great admins that run this league, even though they made a little whoopsie tonight. Shout out to my mom who's always watching, and the rest of my friends that always watch, and shout out to my team and just everybody involved. It's been a great night.
Well, congratulations. Everybody makes mistakes. We had a bit of a gremlin in our soundboard. We lost audio for about half the race, so we're happy to get it
Uh-oh.
back. So it was a quiet. We did a quiet version of our event, but we figured it out about halfway through. So, well, congratulations on your P3, and we'll see you next week at the Roval.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's Garrett Walden finishing here in third place. Now let's go and bring it to the broadcast booth. You're a second place finisher, Jacob Musso. Jacob, congratulations.
Thank you.
Man, it was just so hard to run down that leader at this track.
Yeah, it was just hard in general to catch the car in front of you tonight. I made a bad mistake and fenced it a couple times and had totally damaged the whole race and aero damage, so that didn't help either. But yeah, the leader, you got out front, and my teammate Corey led a lot of the race, pretty much the whole thing. And he was lights out, and the guys behind him couldn't catch him with the dirty air. You could not get close or make a move. It was really tough all night.
Well, congratulations on your second place finish. Obviously, a lot of challenges with those late race restarts, but you pulled it out.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it was a interesting couple late race cautions there. A lot of mayhem, and just luckily I was able to make it through. After starting in the back tonight, after crashing qualifying, I'll take a P2 all day.
Yeah, absolutely. You came back. You started back in 16th and finished in second. Well, congratulations on that. Any shout-outs tonight?
Shout out all the boys at SFM. Corey, he was lights out tonight. Unfortunate there at the end for him. Definitely his race to win. Everybody in the league for a great league. Our buddy Garrett and Jordan, and then you guys for a great broadcast.
You got it. Well, that's Jacob Musso finishing here in second place here in Kansas. Jacob, we'll see you next week at the Roval.
Appreciate it, guys.
Got it. All right, and with that allows us to move into the broadcast booth. Your winner here, Austin Wheeler, takes the win at Kansas.
Stole it. Got lucky as hell. I'll take it.
I only have one question for you, Austin. What was running through your mind? You took 2 tires. We talked to drivers before this race. They thought we were crazy for even bringing that up as a suggestion. What was the mindset like when you come down pit road? Did you know you were going to do that tonight to get that track position back and then have to fight them off like that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the mindset was I already won one. I'm already locked in. What's going to happen? I finished 10th.
Right.
I mean,
I love it. I love it.
I couldn't win it from 4th, and I'm pretty sure this mile and a half has gotten worse than the rest of them as far as passing. I mean, whoever you were behind, you were running their pace. You couldn't. This was so hard to pass. You couldn't do hardly anything tonight, even with changing lines. And then the setup here tonight, I thought I was going to be on the fence tonight, and I was hoping for that. But practicing this week, I come to realize pretty quickly that was not the way to go. So, totally different race than we all expected, I think.
Yeah, I think that when you looked at the model, that the recent updates, the Highline isn't there anymore.
No, it took like 25, 30 laps for it to even be somewhat comparable. And that was just decent at best. I think I used it 3 or 4 times tonight to make a pass, just to get a run on somebody and dive it inside of them. Other than that, it was just slower all night, and I was not used to that. So it was cool to get a win here with running the bottom. I definitely stole it there at the end with 2 tires. Corey Ennis had the best car all night long. I mean, he dominated the race, so I feel bad for him.
Well, congratulations on your win. Any shout-outs tonight?
Yeah, well, thank everybody in the league. Thank you guys for broadcasting. My team, Smoky Mountain Motorsports. It's been a great season, and I've got 3 of the 4 so far.
You have, yeah. 2 in the first round, 2 in the second round. That's pretty stout.
Yeah, just trying to stack points and make sure we can get to the final 4, because you can't win it until you get there. So
that's correct. Now, of course, next week we're off to the Roval. Thoughts on that track?
I just hope to run second to Wenzel, right? I mean, that's the best you can do there.
That's it.
Do we have the new layout? Is that what we're running this next week?
You're asking the same question we're asking. We have no clue.
I know it's on here. It just depends if Josh and Scott are going to let us do it.
Oh, that's a very good question. That's
I hope they will.
yeah.
It's on here. Might as well try it, right?
Absolutely. All right, well, there's your winner of tonight's race here in the Hollywood Casino 200 at Kansas. Austin Wheeler brings home the win. He is on his way to the next round, and we'll see you, Austin, next week in Charlotte.
Thank you, guys. Looking forward to it.
All right, Sal. Wow, that was a wild night. Apologize for our technical issues here in the first half of the race, but glad the second half was able to be a lot of fun. They could hear your commentary, they could hear the cars. It kind of felt like normal.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm glad that, I mean, if it was going to go out, the first half of the race was the half of the race for us not to hear because the end of this one was a barn burner. Not that the beginning wasn't, but what we saw at the end there was something else. And I think as we go back and we look and we see exactly how that one unfolded, even on the last lap, there's a lot to talk about amongst these drivers here as they get ready to head into the Roval. But Kansas never disappoints. And again, just my only question for Austin Wheeler was about that pit strategy. That's one that, I know if I'm behind the wheel, I don't know if I'm courageous enough to take that. Maybe I would have been happy with that top 10, but Austin Wheeler rolling the dice in the Hollywood Casino 200 here tonight and coming up the big winner with that win here tonight, his second of the round. So good for him. Good for this series and this league, adding a lot of excitement as we see who can hunt down that 48 car next week at the Roval.
That's right. So the iNRS Racing Series moves on to the last race in the second round at next week at Charlotte for the Roval. We'll be there on Thursday. If you do tune in on Wednesday nights, the Tech for Troops Cup Series will be at Kansas. They'll be coming here for their second race of their second round. So, well, from Sal and myself here at the IWM Broadcast Network, we thank you so much for tuning in. We wish you the very best. Have a great night, and see you next week.